A very hard fought point this afternoon.
Yeah, really tough game. You know, just obviously coming off the back of the midweek game. Got off to the worst start. You know, it was a good play for them, getting down the left hand side and a nice cutback, a nice finish. But you know, credit to the players. I thought after that, certainly for the majority of the first half, I thought we looked the side that might come in front. You know, I think we've missed a couple of chances. Young Jake does brilliant. You know, to sort of put pressure on the defender and has an excellent finish. For there, you know, Scotty Bright's had a great chance. Scotty Ships had a great chance, and you know, say the same thing. I'll need to have a look, but my players are adamant in there. You know, certainly there's a handball that looks a clear handball to me. Hit some with his arm out at the side. Gus Mailer's at 100% saying the one on him's a foul. You know, and you just need those decisions that you deserve. So, you know, half time 1-1 I felt was a bit harsh on us. I thought we were, you know, for the majority of the first half, after going to go behind, we did really well. Second half, it wasn't much between the two teams. You know, we probably edged it again in chances. You know, with the sort of long throws, Jake's made the goalkeeper make a good save. The cut back to Stewarty, it's a great block. But you know, you're always have the fear because the quality they've got up front. They're quick on the break. You know, they've got good players, and Mark comes up with a top save. You know, to make sure we finish with a point. But overall, players have been fantastic. It's been a really tough month. We've got another, you know, 2 big games this month. You know, with Elgin. You know, obviously we've picked up. Looks like a few injuries, and we're sure to get sent off. You know, we'll have to see how the injuries are. It's a key time in the season that you don't want to be picking up any like that. We've suffered earlier in the season, so you know, we just have to take a lot of the positives out of the game, and you know, we're playing the team top of the league. You know, who are, you know, have been brilliant all season, and I wish them really all the best in the run-in.
And there certainly are positive takes. One of those is which you've moved up into 4th position. Does that give you something to hold on to now?
Well, you know, it's took us a while to get there. There's been occasions where we could have went into 4th, but there's so much to play for. You know, with 7 games left, you've got, you know, 3 teams in 36 points. You know, we've still to play all the teams. You know, and it'll come down to those games. You know, who's the bravest and who gets the right decisions. You know, in those games, because I think we need a fair share of luck when it comes to these.
And one of those teams that are tied on 36 points is Elgin. Feels like a big game now on Tuesday, doesn't it?
It was always a big game, regardless. You know, it was always a big game. Elgin to play twice. So, you know, every game's crucial now at this time of the season. You know, you're as the games start to fall off, you know, it's important that you keep yourself in with a chance, even if it goes right to the last game. We were way at Annan. You know, we want to try and get this club out of this league. You know, we've got an opportunity like 4 or 5 other teams have. So, you know, the players' mentality were a lot stronger. You know, we look a lot more threatening. And I thought today, you know, we probably, like I would say the last 3 times against Spartans, we've not quite got the big decisions. I don't think the big decisions have went our way.
The injury list does seem to be mounting. Mason Munn missed out today. Martin Rennie came off, and Aaron Linus looking hurt at the end there. What can you update us on those players?
Well, Mason's got a wee bit of a thigh strain, so we just have to see how he is. You know, he's been getting treatment at Rangers, and we're hopeful that he's back soon. And Rennie felt his thigh as well in the first half. Again, we'll just have to, you know, we took him off fairly quickly, so we're hopeful that he recovers in time, you know, over this week. And you know, Aaron's a warrior, so I would expect him to bounce back. You know, I think he took a knock in the back. So you'll get 2 or 3 days to rest up, and hopefully that's enough time to get some of the injuries. With Stewarty suspended now, we're going to really need these players.
Perfect. Thank you very much.